One of the things about fixing up an old house is you've got to accept how projects tend to grow. When we took down a few of the ceiling boards on the small porch to see where the rain was getting in, we began to wonder what was under the rest of the ceiling. And like so many things with an old house, you don't know where you're going to end up when you start a thing. You don't even know how you'll meet a challenge, but you can keep going when you remember your love for a country house. Just look at all those holes. I can honestly say I never imagined it would be that bad. But obviously rain had no problem getting onto the porch, and there was so much buckets of rain pouring down on the floor below, we could never keep paint there, because as soon as you patch it and scrape it and prime it and put paint on it, the rain would come down and splinter it all off, and worst of all, it looked like it was pooling under the columns and the whole thing was going to come down. So for us though, it's never been about making this look like a modern porch. We didn't really want to tack a suburban style deck to the front of an old house. We wanted to keep as much of the original house and all those little handmade nails, but we're going to use modern materials to renovate too. Pat has the engineering background. He figured out how to brace the roof from below, and I'm lighter weight and I really don't mind cleaning up a lot of messes and things. So I was the one that went out on the second floor window and cleaned off a lot of the shingles, which were mostly crumbs by now anyway. We were never sure the roof could actually hold even my weight, so I started out with my butt on the windowsill, but gradually I moved further and further out. There were no problems at all, and this is also when I figured out not to wear white when renovating. The only tedious part for me was when Pat peeled off the shingles from the scaffold on the porch, and I watched them fly down for hours and picked them up. That was a really long day, but eventually we got to the part where we could re-shingle. And so we took advantage of that hole in the roof, and Pat did the edges and all the difficult, scary parts of the roof. Then I went out and did the rest of the shingles. You've probably seen those videos where one person manages renovations all by themselves. But for two people, it's great if you have the complementary abilities and strengths. Like I like having materials cut and measured for me, and all I had to do was staple and nail straight on this roof. I like doing the project research and having the vision and knowing all the tricks to the trade, but Pat's got the physical strength and the mechanical know-how. I like to keep us organized and clean up our messes. I'm always focusing on safety, but we both like the feeling of doing it ourselves, and so soon we're going to start replacing the ceiling and the lamp to this porch. I can't wait to show you what we've come up with for the lamp. And the new roof means no more rain damage, so I'm back to scraping the porch. This time I'm going to try staining it, because I really don't think old wood even really likes paint, especially on horizontal surfaces. There we go.
So what do you think?
I think we can do this.
Good. What do you mean we can do it?
Thank you all so much for following our journey, and we hope you'll turn that like thumb blue to let us know you're out there. We've got free printables, original artwork, and lots of old house projects on our website, steffiemccarthy.com. Click the sun logo to subscribe.